Okay, this is the cook kit that Syntax 77 everybody how to make on YouTube. Had a few problems with it. First off, I don't know if you can see, but the edge, I had a poor side cutter can opener, and it smashed the edge of it in. So I ended up using a top cutter to cut it because there wasn't enough top on it for the side cutter to grasp. So I went and it took a can that was the right size lid, and it's fine, okay, but I went to cut the bottom out of that with a side cutter and it smashed the side in on it. So I had a cheap side cutter. So I have what I have, and that's it. That's the lid. I put a little screw in it so I can take the lid off and on when it's hot. Of course, I made the cozy. Cozy's nothing. I've been doing that. I use duct tape, and he used the aluminum tape. I use duct tape to make the stuff. My cat can stove. A little finger grabber. I like that thing he made. My fingers are a little bit bigger, so mine's like this. My fingers are bigger. I didn't feel like cutting it down. That's what it is. One ounce alcohol. My little cup for drinking. That's just a 12-ounce soup can, and I used a top cutter and then took a pair of pliers and made sure the edges were all down so I don't cut my lip. But it ought to work. It ought to work fine for a cup. I got to put my windscreen together. I cut that last night out of a piece of flashing I had at the house. That'll work. Get some water. I'm going to have us some coffee here. Okay. I got them holes a little bit low on the bottom. I can't go no lower and higher than that. I will be coming out the side holes. Okay. Goes on there. And this goes on there like that. And put the lid on. Folgers coffee singles. Okay, we have a hell of a boil. We've got a heck of a boil here, guys. Yeah. Down in here. Huh. Interesting. I made her too tight, I'm afraid. I made my cozy too daggone tight. There it is. Come in. I might need to work on that cozy. That's a little bit in the tight side, but that's an easy adjustment. The alcohol's still ain't all burned off. I'm going to leave that go here for a bit till she cooks down and burns off. I'm not going to try and put it out. Got a good flame yet. I burned that in less than a ½ ounce. I boiled that water in a ½ ounce or less. Less than a ½ ounce. I've got about a third left, or no, about an eighth left, and I've got probably an eighth in there. 3/4 of an ounce. 3/4 of an ounce, say. Yeah, we're getting coffee now. It's getting to be coffee. Coffee time, coffee time. As soon as coffee time, at lunchtime is coffee time. And some grapes, some apricots, and then my favorite dessert, a fig Newton. So I want to talk to you here for a minute and let you know what's up with me. It's my water bottle. Might as well stick him in the pocket back here. Well, the surgeon went in, the recap of everything. The procedure I had done for the cancer to try and get the cancer out with a laser in August failed, and all it did would cause me a great deal of pain. So there was no other recourse. The cancer had to come out, so they had to take the kidney out. They took my right kidney out, the ureter, which is the tube that goes from the kidney to the bladder, not to be mistaken with the urethra, which would not be acceptable in my case. Took the ureter out and a little piece of the bladder where it hooks into the ureter hooks in. I went in 2 weeks after the surgery to see the doctor, and he got his toxicology reports back from the surgery. The tumor had not spread anywhere into the meat of the kidney. It was only in the fatty tissues of the kidney and in the renal pelvis. It had not reached any blood vessels. They took a lymph node off beside the kidney to make sure that it was clean. It had not metastasized. The lymph node was normal. The ureter was normal. There was no cancer in the ureter. There was no cancer in the bladder. So essentially I'm absolutely clean. Now last Monday, the 21st, I went into Hershey again to see the oncologist. He recommended, my urologist recommended that I see an oncologist, and she gave me all the options that there were. The first option was watchful waiting, where they just watch very closely and see what happens. Seeing that we pretty much got all the cancer, they're pretty sure that they got it all and none of it escaped. that's the first option. The second option was to take the poison that they have, whatever the hell the stuff is. I don't know what it is anymore. She told me what it was. There's two types of stuff they give you, and the side effects are that you lose your feeling in your feet and in your extremities. There's neurological damage to your extremities. So in other words, you lose the feeling in your feet and in your hands, and you lose part of your hearing. I'm already suffering from a good bit of hearing loss as it is from gunfire and everything else in my lifetime. So I really didn't need to go through any of that. And losing the ability to feel my feet, I wouldn't be able to be out here in the woods hiking or hunting or fishing or doing anything that really makes life worthwhile for me. So that was not an option. The other option is that they cut the poison in half and only give you half as much. And after all, the entire thing, if they give you the poison, the best they can do is promise me a 5% reduction in the chance of getting cancer again. 5%. So the urologist already told me there's a 50% chance that the cancer will return. So I told the oncologist, so you're telling me that if they told you it's 50% chance it's going to rain, the chances are you're probably going to get wet. If they told you it's a 45% chance it's going to rain, the chances are you're probably going to get wet. And I can't see the fact of losing the feeling in my hands and my feet, and possibly even ended up being hospitalized for low numbers on my blood and all these other things that could go bad and turn south in a hurry. I couldn't see going through that, so I opted for the first option, which was watchful waiting. So I go back on the 21st of November. Right now, today, it's still October. It's October the 29th. We're heading into Halloween, which will be Thursday, I think. Tomorrow. No. Tomorrow? The 30th? The 31st? I don't know. Nevertheless, Halloween's coming. But I still have almost a full month of being off work yet. I'm going nuts. I'm not allowed to pick anything up over 10 pounds because I do have, where they took the ureter out and the little piece of the bladder, I have a large cut about 8 inches below my belly button that runs vertically down, and there's 3 layers of stitching, he said, in there to hold everything together, and then the top is glued together. But for the kidney part that they took the kidney out, they did that laparoscopically, and that was done with just 5 poke holes. So that's pretty well good to go. It's the main incision they're worried about getting torn loose. So I'm not allowed to lift anything up, but I am allowed to hike and walk. So I'm doing a lot of this right now. Today, I guess my pack might have been over 10 pounds. Hell, I don't know. I don't have a scale to weigh it on. So.